Talk to anyone in the mining industry across the world, and they'll tell you that the success of the operation begins with their stable of earth-moving trucks. The backbone to those workhorse vehicles are the giant tires. Now, brand new tires can be extremely pricey and hard to come by. So where do you turn to repair the world's largest tire? Right here at the Rubber King of the Mountain, RDH Tire and Retread Company in Cleveland, North Carolina. Let's go see how they do it. So one of the perks about coming to cool places like this is learning how to do things that I didn't know how to do before. You are now looking at a certified forklift operator, and that's exactly what I'm going to use right there to bring some tires inside and start helping them repair them. Oh yeah.
Founded in 1987, RDH caters to over 200 tire dealers in the U.S. and abroad. In an average year, they repair about 7,200 tires and recap 7,000. Some of them bigger than this 12-foot, 8,000-pound monster that I'm moving.
Ah, that's a tight squeeze.
Because of the cost and the increased demand for large tires, retreading is big business. A tire can be retreaded for 60% of the price of a brand new one.
Let's go buff some tires. Okay, so now we're at initial inspection, which is basically stage one of the process. What we're looking for is anything visual damages that we could see, cuts, gashes, slashes, holes on the tire. The interesting thing about it is that each tire has its own barcode, or basically its own identity. And what they do is they log it into the computer, so when it goes to each stage of the retreading process, they scan the barcode so everyone knows exactly what's wrong with the tire and everyone's on the same page. This is Sam and Inspector. Sam, how you doing?
Pretty good, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. What are you looking for here?
We're looking for any bad cuts or places that might go down in the steel that we need to spot whenever we're recapping the tire. Any section repairs, any holes in the tire, like that one right there.
Right.
Any bad places in the liner.
Okay, so you're basically in the business of initially inspecting a tire so it can be retreaded.
Yes.
I mean, can a tire only be retreaded once, or?
No, we could recap it as many times as the casing will stand up to.
So I mean, how long does a normal tire like this last before it needs to be recapped?
Depends on the use. Some of them a year or so, some more.
Okay, so when you're done with your initial inspection here, what happens next? Where does this tire go?
It goes to buffing.
Depending on the amount of damage, it can take anywhere from 3 hours to 3 days to retread a tire. The production goes through 7 million tons of rubber per year.
Hey, Matt. Nice to meet you, man. Good to see you.
Matt, it's a beautiful
All right,
name.
well, we're going to be buffing this tire here.
Buffing, what does that do? Do you cut the rubber off? Or?
Yeah, we're going to peel the rubber off with a peel cup. And then after we get the majority of the rubber off, we're going to take a buffing rasp and we're going to take it down to the OD that we need.
You said buffing cup. What's a buffing cup?
A peel cup is a metal cup with a sharp edge that's going to go into the tire and peel most of the rubber off of it.
So does the cup move or does the tire move?
The tire moves, the cup spins as the tire moves.
So you strip it bare, basically starting back from square one?
Right, we're leaving 1 or 2 millimeters on the tire after we get done with it all.
So, I mean, is it all ran by machine? Do you do anything manually? Or?
No, it's all ran by machine. The only thing we're going to do manually is check the rubber depth on it and see how much we got to take off of there.
So, I mean, when buffing, this is a 12-foot, 8,400-pound tire. Right. How long does it take to buff something like this?
45 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
All right, show me how this thing works.
All right.
The first thing we do is determine the amount of rubber to take off by checking the depth of the tire. Then we program the machine.
Here, safety first, meathead.
And let it go.
Look at that!
Hey, you caught your one.
That's a big chunk.
So we're done.
Okay, and then after this, what? You're going to smooth out the rough edges?
Yeah, we're going to run the buff on it, and then it goes over to skiving.
So skiving's the next station?
Skiving's the next station.
That's where I'm headed.
All right, man.
Thanks, man. It was nice meeting you, brother.
Take care. Later on.
Okay, so the next step of the process is called skiving. I don't really know what that means yet, but I'm gonna grab one of these workers here and find out. Hey, look who, Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, you do this too?
Yeah.
Really? And this is called skiving.
Yeah.
What is that? What's skiving?
Anything that the buffer don't take out, your rusty steel, rocks, or anything left in it, we're going to have to take it out and texturize the rubber, take out all the separated steel.
So the skiving part of it is what? Is it grinding it down to the metal or?
Just the damaged area. Like here, there's no damaged area, so we don't do anything to it. Just places that are big places the steel's shining, you see when you're buffing, we got to texturize all that and take all that rust off that steel wire.
All right.
Because the uncured rubber won't bond to the rust or the dirt.
I still don't understand what I'm actually looking to do. You know what I mean?
Just looking to smooth down there. Let me turn it to a place we ain't worked here. Won't be so tight on you. Like right in here. See some of these little old cracks like right in here. It's shiny. We're just gonna take this right here and just buff these little old cracks right here out.
I mean, are you talking about take it down to the metal or no?
If you bump the steel, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. If that's what it takes to get it out, it's fine.
So, I mean, are you talking about this part or?
Like right here, see that little crack going right up through there? There'll be a little dirt down in there, and that'll cause that spot to turn loose. And the whole cap could work loose.
I mean, I would never think that would be a problem on this big tire, but that could be a problem.
Yeah. So they start that plug working loose, and with the heat building up, because all the weight that's on these things, the whole cap will turn loose.
That little tiny crack right there is the problem, and that's the reason why we need the skiver. I'm off to the next station.
All right.
Thanks again, Sam.
Skiver areas called buzz cuts are then filled with a special rubber compound. The rubber is then put into a mill and heated by friction. After about 15 to 20 minutes in the mill, the rubber is hot and pliable and ready for patching. Deep buzz cuts are filled with these things called bleeder strings to prevent air pockets, which can cause the tire to separate. Pliable rubber is slapped onto the tire and then beaten with a sledgehammer. Then, the excess is cut off. This process can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. When the tire is completely patched, it is then sent off to the builder machine.
All right, so what we're looking at here is a perfectly built tire, and the way they do that is right here with the builder. Now, they start out with raw, uncured rubber. They feed it into the builder, goes through the machine, heats it up, and when it comes out, the builder actually presses the heated rubber against the tire, and they slowly turn it and they slowly build it, and it's about a 3-hour process. But the thing about it is, they make it perfectly symmetrical. So back to its original restored shape. It's built. Coming up.
It's big, dude. The biggest kettle of its kind.
Biggest one in the world.
Is for cooking tires.
I threw a pizza in there. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
And later,
Actually, we're down below the river level.
we go deep underground
On the other side of this is water.
in the Grand Coulee Dam.
I keep hearing that banging.
Water droplets exploding because of the pressure.
It's no place to mess around.
What would happen if I open this up?
Well, we definitely get wet.
Because these tires are so big, some as large as 14 feet in diameter and weighing almost 14,000 pounds, safety is the main concern.
Okay, so we have a built tire. Next step of the process is they're going to haul it into a huge kettle where you're going to cure it, right?
Right.
This is Daniel. Daniel, I'm Matt. How you doing?
Nice to meet you, bud.
Nice to meet you. So tell me how this works.
After the tire's built, they seal us off, keep the steam from getting between the casing and the new rubber, and then we load it into the kettle. We go to the computer, build it up to 80 psi, 265 degrees for approximately 12 hours.
The kettle is basically steam and air, just
Pressure cooking.
pressure cooking it. Does the tire sit in there? Does it rotate?
It
What happens?
rotates every 15 minutes in order to keep the rubber from getting too hot and sagging.
Right.
It keeps it true as it rotates and it cures evenly. Basically, it just revulcanizes it like a new tire.
So because, like now, if this built tire were to hit the road, what? It's so soft it'd get chewed up in a second?
Right, it'll just roll right off. Yeah. Just raw rubber.
So that's basically toughing it up, or toughing up the rubber.
Right.
So when it cures, this will be completely smooth?
Yes.
Wow. Can you show me the kettle?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, look at that kettle. How big is that?
17 feet in diameter,
And then how deep?
10 feet.
10 feet deep? So can you fit like numerous tires in there?
Up to 3.
Ooh, it's soft. What's that made out of?
Well, it's steel, but it's insulated with 5 inches of insulation.
Really? Can I see inside?
Sure.
All right. It's big, dude.
Yeah, biggest one in the world.
It's the biggest one in the world?
Tire chamber, yeah.
It's a big hamster wheel, Daniel. Let's put a tire in.
All right.
I'll watch you from over here. Oh. All right, man, let's close the door. Let's cure this sucker.
Let's do it.
So that's it. It's ready to get cured, huh?
Ready.
I threw a pizza in there. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
All right, thanks, man. All right. Thanks, brother. I'll see you later. So right now I'm in a huge semi-trailer truck of stripped rubber. And they actually fill 4 of these things a week with the excess rubber. And what they'll do is they'll grind it down into this fine pulp and they'll recycle all of it. Nice. So once the tire gets done curing, the rubber's hard, it doesn't need to be cooled down, and it's ready for the tread to be put on it. This is the Groover Lucky, right?
Yes.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good, I'm Matt. And this is, what, the grooving machine?
Yes.
The grooving machine cuts the treads into the cured tire with a heated knife. Heat, speed, depth, velocity, tread design, and tread size are all programmed into the machine, and the treads are then cut. These cuts give the tire traction, and the tread design depends on what condition the tires will be used under. Grooving can take up to 4 hours.
I'm off to final inspection.
Final inspection is the last step in the process before a retreaded tire is shipped out.
So this is final inspection.
Yes, it is.
You're Brad, right?
Brad,
I'm Matt Rogers. So what goes on in a final inspection?
you know, it's our end quality control.
Okay.
Make sure everything we're sending out of here is the way we want it and the customer will be happy with it.
Do you come across a lot of things missed? I mean, is it common?
Sometimes it does happen because we deal with a lot of tires and some holes in there can be so small they miss coming in because the tires are extremely dirty. When they come in, they're usually clean on the way out.
So, I mean, tell me, how critical can the littlest hole be to this big tire?
It can destroy the whole tire.
Really? How is that possible?
Air can get in there and cause, you know, heat buildup, air loss, separation. Whole tire could feasibly come apart.
So if you were to give me a rough estimate, when will you see this thing again?
In about a year.
About a year.
About a year to wear the tread out.
And that's a common, you know, comparison to a new tire too?
Pretty close.
So from looking at this one, does this one pass the final inspection?
This one passes.
Another one down. Coal, oil, copper, basically all mining for that matter, rely on the use of the huge off-road tire. I like to think of it as the horseshoe to the thoroughbred. But what really impressed me about this place is the RDH personnel are craftsmen, and that each one of these tires is an expensive piece of artwork. And with the constant demand for more, the RDH Tire and Retread Company is an unstoppable, really big thing.